We're going to get rolling. Glad you're here for the Blissful Flow. This week we're focused on Laya Yoga. Some people say Laya Yoga. The middle to Laya, whatever. Years ago when I read about Laya Yoga, it was about the yoga of light and visualizing light. Visualizing the energy that you're experiencing in your body as light and trying to move it upward towards the crown of the head. And all yoga, we're trying to do this anyway. All of yoga, we're trying to awaken what's called the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy that is creative life force energy, and bring it higher. So this is considered the feminine, the Shakti. This is considered Shiva, the masculine. And we're trying to get the two to come together into a state of union. And the crown chakra is about unity consciousness. And so the idea of Laya Yoga is to awaken the dormant energy, to bring it higher so that we're not more or less caught up in our individualization. And we're moving more into a unity state of consciousness where we feel this state of oneness. So in the past, when we've done Laya Yoga, we've done a lot of meditations on light, and we will be doing that a little bit later in the practice. But I also brought in the idea that Laya Yoga is also considered a part of Kundalini Yoga, which is one reason on Monday we opened up with a lot of Kriyas and a lot of really strong breath work. And we're going to be doing a few of those today, but a completely different practice today. There is also a Laya Yoga meditation. And the Laya Yoga meditation, we're not going to do the Kundalini way. We're going to do it a little different. The Kundalini way, you would wrap yourself in a blanket or a shawl. So that there's no chill coming to the spine, because the idea is the energy running up the astral spine. And so it's to keep you warm, it's to keep you weighted, it's to keep you grounded. And you sit with Jnana Mudra and you work with your bandhas. And so with the first kind of verse of the mantra, which is Ekankar, you'd be drawing in and up through the pelvic floor, which is the root block. And then on the second verse of that mantra, Saptanama. So the Saptanama would be drawing in and up through the navel center, which is the second block. And then it goes Sirivaka, He Guru. And after that Sirivaka, you lock in your throat. So it's all the way up to manipulate the energy to move up to a higher level. And then with the Ha Guru, you let it all go and you relax into it. It's a lot to think about, and because you're not familiar with it, we're going to lie on our back and just listen. How about that? So we're going to actually lie down in a certain position, if it's okay for your body. This particular artist, Jay Jagadesh, that we're going to be listening to, came to Nashville 2019, and it was amazing. It was an amazing concert. There was a big group of us from Half Moon that went. It was literally half the place was Half Moon Yoga, but the other half was Kundalini Rising Yoga. It was like the two yoga studios showed up, and a few peppered people from the community, and that was it. So you're going to separate your feet as wide as your mat, and the arms are going to lengthen up overhead. So basically, it's like you're creating an X shape with your body, or a star shape with your body. This is actually a yin pose called Pentacle. Now, before I move on into the mantras that you can listen to it and absorb it, I want you to know Laya actually translates to mean dissolution or absorption. And the idea of this practice is to dissolve the karmic patterns, the impressions and conditionings, as well as the ego. so that we can move into that state of oneness. I'm going to find this mantra so that you can listen to it. And the mantra is actually called Laya Yoga. So the Ekankar means there is one creator. Satyanama, I am centered and grounded in my truth. Truth is my reality. The Siri Waheguru is great, indescribable wisdom or the dissolution of darkness. So you can imagine that you're bringing in those bandhas, or you can activate them in the process of listening, or you can just breathe diaphragmatically to center for our practice. You're starting to get the words down. Feel free to sing it aloud in a whisper or mentally within. Mantra continues to play. We're going to start to move forward into some movement. So on your next in-breath, you're going to lift your left leg, right arm up, maybe even tap the toe. You can choose whether or not you want to lift your head up and cross over the midline. Otherwise, you can keep the head down, and then we'll return back to the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg, right arm, maybe the head to the chest, and exhale, release. Now we'll start to go a little quicker. Again, you can keep your head to the floor if this is upsetting to your neck. So Kriyas go a little bit faster. However, pay attention to your body. Kundalini Yoga is quick, rapid, fast, boom, boom, boom. Doesn't mean you have to operate that way. If you want to move slowly in sync with your breath, then you can do it that way. But the nice thing about moving at a quick pace and really moving with that vigorous breath is it does help to move that energy and kick it up higher and quicker to the brain. The idea is to move it into the crown chakra. Since we started with the left leg, right arm, you're going to complete this with the right leg, left arm, and just lay back in this pentacle pose. Slow down the heartbeat by controlling your breath. We're going to move into the next flow. So gently begin to draw the knees into the chest, wrap your arms lovingly around. Then we're going to start to do a different type of movement. As you inhale, the arms are going to open wide. Your legs are going to float up, spreading the toes to engage the muscles of the legs. As you exhale, widen the legs into a split. Inhale, draw the legs back together. Exhale, tap the feet to the floor. Good. Inhale, lift the legs sky. Exhale, widen them. Inhale, zip them together. Exhale, feet to the floor. All right, this is our knee flow of movement. We're not doing Vinyasa yoga, so move with your breath, but you don't have to control it and go so slow. Now the next time you lift the legs up and widen your thighs apart, I want you to pause. Kick up your heels a little bit higher and stretch out through the legs. Straighten them out, keeping the sacrum anchored to the floor, and let gravity open you up a little bit more. So we're going to be moving up the chain of the chakras through the body. We're first emphasizing the legs, we'll move into the hips, and we'll continue to move up the ladder. Affirming here as you hold, I accept everything that comes my way as an opportunity for further growth. Inhale, draw the legs back together, and then exhale, bend the knees, land the feet down to the mat. Bring your arms now beside your body. As you inhale, left leg extends, arms overhead. And then exhale, draw the left knee in towards your belly and chest. Now I'm going to let you go at any pace of your liking. If you want to make this a Vinyasa yoga flow, that's fine. Inhale, the arms reach up towards the ears, lengthening out through the left leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your belly and chest. You're hovering that left heel so that you're also hoping to strengthen the hip and the lower abdominals. We're beginning and staying on this left side for now. Let's do 3 more. Find the pace of your liking in accordance to your breath. On that last one, hold the left knee in. The Affirming here, I reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. I dissolve the karmic impressions, conditioning and ego to rise up and away into the sky. Sink the left foot down. Inhale, arms overhead, right leg's gonna extend long, foot hovers right above the mat. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the upper body. Continue this flow of movement. So notice even though the focus is on the legs, we're still operating from the hip. We're still activating the core. We're still working the heart chakra because we're moving the arms and shoulders. Beautiful, take 3 more sets. And then at that conclusion, you're gonna hold the knee into the belly and chest, wrapping the arms lovingly around. And affirming here, I reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. I dissolve my karmic impressions, my ego, and all of these patterns I've accumulated to rise up and away into the sky. You're ready to draw both knees into belly and chest. Lower off to one side. Push down to the top hand to build your way up. All right, we're going to be in Dandasana, the staff position. And this is actually similar to the standing Kundalini frog that I showed you earlier that we did on Monday, but it's different. Okay, so you can have your hand. We all have different arm lengths. And so it's going to feel different to each person, whether or not you want flat palms, fingertips forward or back, or even being on fingertips. I think I'm going to be on fingertips or in the base knuckles today. So what we're going to do, this is going to be our inhale. We pick ourselves up, splay the knees, move the hips towards the heels, kind of like a butterfly, and then we inhale, straighten back. So we exhale, we move it forward. Good. Inhale back. And you're just kind of scooting along, back and forth between these 2 positions. The feet roll open so that the knees and hips can rotate open. So we have that repetitive action. I've heard this called traveling butterfly. All right, move back into Dandasana. Lift your arms up. Flex through the ankles, play open through your toes. Ground the backside of your thighs. Shine up through your side body, up through your heart center. And then exhale, you're going to go ahead and begin to dive forward. Your hands can take residence alongside the legs, or if you can access your feet, you're welcome to hold here as well. You are trying to lengthen that mid part of the back behind your heart. That way you're not collapsing in that region. Doesn't matter how high or low you are. Home to your breath. Find a rhythmic pace to your breath. Affirming here as you hold, I'm safe, I'm sound, and good things come to me and bring me peace. All right, inhale, you're slowly gonna draw back to center. I know this next maneuver is not great for everyone's knees or ankles. If that's the case, you're gonna bring your left foot to your inner right knee for half butterfly instead. But if you can, take a hold of the, I'll turn this way so you can see at home. If you bend your left knee, take the front side of the ankle and then draw the foot alongside your hip. You're on the top of the foot. This does not work for everyone. So if that's the case for you, you're going to be here instead. Okay. So again, this is a little different from our typical blissful flow. So flex the right ankle, round your right thigh bone, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down and lean over the lap. Okay. So don't go immediately to your edge, because this is going to be the in breath, and the out breath, we're going to find the edge. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we find the edge. And that edge may change over time or with repetition. And so you're kind of lifting up and down. It's not about bouncing, so please don't bounce. It's about hinging. If you are in this half saddle position here with the left leg, you're going to take a moment to lean back, maybe onto your hands, maybe onto the forearms, but we're not going to hold it for a long period, just for a few rounds of breath. If you're in the half butterfly, you're welcome to hang out over your lap for a few more breaths. And then inhale, we'll draw it up. We'll release the left leg. Then the right knee, take a hold of the front of the ankle. See if this maneuver is possible to this side. If you find a lot of resistance, please come back here to half butterfly instead. Lift the arms overhead. That helps to elongate the vertebrae and create space in the lumbar area of the back. And then exhale, hinge forward. Each edge will be a little bit different. We shy away from the edge at first, because as we exhale, we're going to move right into it. And then inhale, we back away. Exhale, we find the edge again. If this feels like your weak spot today, if you feel like this is where I need to remain, then stay here. If you're in half butterfly, stay here. Otherwise, if you're in that half saddle, go ahead and come up, lean back into your palms or forearms, and just stretch out the quadriceps. Let's hop the foot, opening up that stomach meridian. And inhale, we'll draw it back up. All right, we're gonna open to Konasana. Moving into another Kriya. Usually I save this pose for the end, but since we're working from the ground up, or from the root chakra up, we're getting right into it today. So push up through your heels, drop low through your thigh bones, and you don't want to be leaning back onto the back side of your seat. You want to be on top of the sit bones or slightly forward of your sit bones. Okay, now depending on your flexibility, you may have to keep your hands here on your thighs. Some of you may be able to prop them onto the shins, and some of you might be able to take a hold of the big toe. So even though I can do this, it feels like it's still a little early for me to be here. So I'm backing up to my shins. So you pay attention to your body, see what feels right for you. All right, so this is a Kriya. Remember, there's movement, okay? Don't be too vigorous with this. The inhale, we're a little higher than our edge. And as we exhale, we turn the head and bow. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we turn the head the opposite way and bow. And again, this is a Kundalini exercise, so it's not like Vini Yoga. It's quick, it's fairly fast pace, and a fairly fast breath. Hopefully you find it's getting a little easier. Hopefully you find your body's opening up through this exploration. And now hold and hold. Sometimes they do that for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'm just giving you a little taste of Kundalini. I'm not certified in it, so we're not timing ourselves as you would in a regular Kundalini class. We're opening up the adductor muscles in the inner thighs, obviously the hamstrings as well. The hips with this external rotation. And we're also working into the low back. Keep your belly kind of hugging in. Let the breath smoothly sail in and out through the nose. And affirming once more, I accept everything that comes my way as an opportunity for further growth. Now let's slowly start to back away. As you start to back away, you're gonna bring your hands under your knees and then take your hands to the floor and bring it up towards a squat position. From your squat position, just letting yourself release through the hips to drop the tailbone in the direction of the floor, but to lift the crown up towards the heavens above. So one thing that makes yoga very unique is it's really centered around the spine. And it is for this awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. It is for bringing the energy higher through these centers. But it's important to also stay grounded. This pose is very grounding to the first chakra. Opening for the second, cleansing for the third. All right, so I'm going to give you an alternative for that Kundalini frog, and it would be this. Your hands could be on blocks to assist. Your toes will turn forward, and you have straight legs for the inhale, and then you come back to squat on the exhale. So if that's the maneuver you choose for your inhale and exhale, you can do that. If you want to join me for the Kundalini version of frog, you're going to straighten your legs. Heel toe the feet towards each other, heels together, toes turn out. You can have your hands on blocks here. We do lift and elevate the heels up. You're going to feel your calves working here. And then on the exhale, the knees splay, and then you drop towards this variation of squat. That's it. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it is a shorter, sharper breath. So
So if you need to go slower with that first variation I showed you, then absolutely do that. Just remember there's benefit to both. Now, once you straighten the legs, turn your heels back behind your toes. Have just a little separation between the big toes, maybe about 3 to 4 inches, and then bow over to your Uttanasana. Now your breath, you can come back under your control here. Let your heart slow down. Burrow the feet into the mat, tip your weight forward towards your toes, and gravitate the head and heart a little lower. Bend your knees very deep, scoop the belly in, and roll it up 1 vertebra at a time. Ooh, all those little kundalinis, I'm already feeling like, ooh, way up here. Okay, separate your feet. Bend your knees. All right, we're gonna have, this is a breathing meditation. So the hands are open about at your waist. And as you inhale, you're drawing up, hands up towards the heart, and the legs straighten out. Exhale, the palms turn down, and then you bend the knees. All right, inhaling up. Exhale down. So this is not a short, sharp breath. This is a long, slow breath. This actually stems from Qigong. We're doing a very eclectic blend today. Feel free to close your eyes if you don't feel lightheaded. Do 3 more. So your inhale, come up. You exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna do a breathing meditation, but we're gonna visualize light. This stems from medical Qigong. It's about circling the light from the tailbone up the spine, over to the third eye on the inhale, down from the face to the pelvic floor on the exhale. And you're visualizing the circulation of light as you breathe. However, we come back into this Kaligata squat, and the arms, it's like you're hugging a big tree or holding a big beach ball. Okay, relax your shoulders down, and then notice how our thumbs want to stick up. Soften your thumbs. Kind of a habit thing. Okay, so the hands are kind of limp. All right, close the eyes. Begin that circle of light meditation. Breathing up from the tailbone through the spine, over the top of the head on the in-breath. Down through the face, chest, abdomen to the pelvic floor on the out-breath. Three more. Now straighten the legs, let the arms relax. We're going to do a twisting Kriya that we did sitting earlier this week, but now we're going to do it from this position of the squat. Just wanted to give your legs a momentary break. Now release the knees again. Arms are gonna be up, fingertips curled in towards the shoulders. Please don't wobble the knees or hips. Try to keep all this stabilized. It's just movement from the waist up. And Heather, you can do it the Kundalini way. Go ahead, yeah. You can do it the way you were doing it. Heather used to go to Kundalini Rising, so she's really familiar with these. She's gonna do the sharp, short breath and move at a quicker pace. I actually can't do that today. I'm an angry Soaz. So you can follow me at a slower pace, or you can follow her at a faster pace. But keep your hips, knees stable. They may move just a tiny bit. Just don't let them wobble a lot. All right, come back to center, straighten your legs out, relax your arms down, palms face forward, close your eyes a moment. So on Monday, every time we did a Kriya, we would take time afterwards to just pause and feel, to connect, to absorb, and to draw up. I want you to do that now. Feel the connection of your feet to the earth. Feel the energy percolating within. Magnetize and draw it up towards the crown of the head. That white light we were circling around us before, imagine it being like a white spinning clockwise tornado at the top of the head. Open up your eyes. We're going to walk the feet so they're back closer to each other. Now we're going to move into the flow practice. Go ahead and stand towards the top of your mat. Yes, because we'll be stepping back. Let's bring the hands to prayer position. Look down at your feet. Make sure the toes point straight ahead. Good. Kind of lock in the legs, zip up through your core. Hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, let your arms sweep up. Exhale, fold into your Uttanasana. Inhale, step back with your left leg. Exhale, drop down to your back knee, shin, and foot. Good. Inhale, let your arms widen up. And as you exhale, sink it down, and you can tap the floor. All right, pressurize the right foot, draw up through your root log to rise. And then exhale, let it go as you descend. Good, 3 more. Last one. All right, let your hands come down to frame the front foot, sink low through your hips. Or so as angry, this will help it. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor. We're stepping back to downward facing dog. Spread open through the fingers, rotate the upper arms away from the face. Lengthen up and back away from your wrist. Press down through the balls of the feet, take the hips a little higher. A deep breath in. As you exhale, drop to the knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranayama. So remember, we don't bring the chin straight down. We take the shoulders past the wrist, then the chin comes down. Inhale, slide through and up to cobra or up dog, your each choice. Exhale, curl the toes and roll all the way back to downward facing dog. Three full breaths here. Even here in the Surya Namaskar, we're trying to stir up the energy, and then we hold the inversion so that gravity can draw it down towards the crown. Inhale, let's launch that left foot and step it all the way through and up between the hands. If it doesn't come all the way with, you can help to step it forward yourself. Knee aligned over the ankle, sink the back knee, shin, and foot. Good, when you're ready, inhale, bring it up. You're lifting through the pelvic floor, lifting it up through the navel. Those are those first couple locks. Root lock, belly lock. Exhale to sit. Continue. Stay with those repetitious movements. Stay with that rhythmic breath. Two more. This time when the hands come down, you can surrender. That deep stretch in the psoas. Hopefully find a little bit of a release. Curl the back toes under. When you're ready, step that back foot forward to the top and just roll on down. Let your head go, nod your head one way or the other. Go. Affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back from achieving unity consciousness. All the changes and shifts the planet's going through, all the changes and shifts happening with humanity is to help us to evolve to the next dimension. That's why 2021 was about dealing and dissolving a lot of the karma that has been accumulated. Healing ancestral wounds that may be holding us back one way or another. It's not been easy, but we're still here. Inhale, bring the arms to your sides all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Moving on into the next flow. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down to your Uttanasana. Inhale, left foot steps way back, but we're gonna keep the knee off the floor. We're gonna press down through the left palm. We're gonna inhale, circle that right arm sky. Exhale, take the right arm under. And then this is our new repetition. Inhale, we lengthen out through the vertebrae as that right arm carries up. And we can bow the head in towards the chest as the arm loops under the front leg. So twists activate all 7 chakras, but the primary one's the third. All right, lower your right hand down, step back to downward facing dog. We're avoiding the planks and chaturangas today and doing Ashtanga Pranam instead. So remember, Ashtanga Pranam is about 8 points touching down. The feet, the knees, the hands, the chin and the chest. So on your exhalation, descend your knees. Shift forward, bend your elbows, drop your chin in the chest towards the floor. It doesn't have to necessarily touch. Inhale, coming through and up to a back bend. And exhale, rolling back to downward facing dog. Magnify your breath here. And let one breath roll right into the next. That's how the breath can become a kriya. On your next inhale, let's allow the left foot to step ahead. Once you gain that lunge, sink your right palm down, open up into the rotation to your left, and then exhale, thread and loop it under, bow the head in. Inhale, the head lifts up as you wind into the twist, and then exhale, release. Continue that flow movement. Last one. Then sink the left hand to the floor. Bring that right foot forward to join and release and melt down. Inhale, bring it all the way to the top. Exhale, hands back. We're going to do one more Surya Namaskara. We're going to focus on cat cows in this one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, step back to downward facing dog. Take another breath here. Exhale, sink down to your knees. Untuck the toes. And notice your hands may be slightly forward of your shoulders. So find that proper position. All right, so I'm gonna give you a choice. I don't know, I like choices. Too many choices have been taken away lately, so I really like choices now more than ever. So if you want to go slow into your cow and move slowly into your cat, you can go in that direction. If you want the Kundalini version, it's like this. It's short, it's sharp, it's quick, all right? Think about your back. And you'll know once you try and experiment with both ones, which you prefer. Sometimes it's good to break out of our box and out of our routine of what we know and what is familiar. Three more. And from the ending of that cycle, you're going to press back into extended child's pose. Resting on your lap and the brow. And this is where we're taking pause to notice any residual effects. Noticing pockets of heat or coolness. Noticing the tingling, bubbling, pulsing, or running sensation. This is the energy that's stimulated and activated and awakened, bringing it towards the crown. All right, slide your hands back. Got way too much planned. I want to go 30 more minutes. Slide your hands towards your knees and then pick up your chest away from your lap. If you need to come back to tabletop, you can, because I know this isn't great for everyone's knees. And so this is a cat-cow from this direction. The focus is more in the chest and the thoracic spine, not as much in the low back or hip region. The neck is also being included. So if cat-cow ever feels cranky to your low back, you can always do this variation. There's other seated variations we've done before. Last one. And then walk the hands forward. We'll take that vinyasa approach. Lower down to Ashtanga Pranam, knees touch chin. Inhale, slither through it up to cobra. Exhale, roll it on back to downward facing dog. All right, so we were moving that on up into the heart and throat region. We did that with twist. We did that with these cat-cows. And now we're going to focus on the mind's eye. So we're going to move from downward facing dog and child's pose, two of the primary poses for that chakra. So this will be our start. Go ahead and sink down to the knees, fold back into child's. Inhale, rock forward to table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop back to the knees. Exhale, back to extended child's. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, table. Exhale, Balasana. 3 more rounds. When you've completed those, sink into child's pose, and then we're going to move into the crown. So we're going to start off with the version of Sasandasana. Slide your hands back towards your knees, right alongside them, and then slide your forehead just an inch or so closer to the knees. So you feel like you're starting to round out a little bit. On your inhale, you lift the hips away from the feet and you roll over the top of the head. And then as you exhale, you drop back into child's. Inhale, rolling from the brow to the hairline, to the top of the head. And then exhale, roll it all the way back. All of these poses were sequenced in a way to open up that base energy and to draw it towards the crown of the head. Go ahead and come up to sit once you roll back to your hips. Feel free to bring in a bolster to sit on. So we're gonna move into some pranayama. That will get us awake. Help to really clear the mind for our shavasana at the end, where we're gonna be visualizing the different points of light at the different chakras. Okay, so we're gonna start hands in Jnana Mudra representing wisdom. And the breath is pumping the belly in, a forced out breath through the nose. And then of course you can go faster, okay? So sit up nice and tall. And when you're ready, force exhalation through the nose. You don't even have to think about the inhale. Three, two, one, take a pause. Round two. So we're pumping the belly in so that anything at this lower level is going to be driven up to those higher centers. Three, two, one, let it go. The last round, we're gonna do it like we did Monday. We're gonna take the hands into a fist, except for the thumbs. This is really good for opening up the yin meridians inside the arms for heart, lung, pericardium. And then it opens and drains the lymph nodes and lymphatic tissues. So the arms are not out like a T, but up kind of like a Y. Yeah. And it's a little harder to get that belly pumping in, but just stay consistent and it will happen. Let's begin. Three, two, one. Relax the arms down. Connect. Feel. Absorb. Visualize your whole body as light. This may sound very woo-woo to you, but as we move from the third dimension, which is all about physical reality, things that are tangible and touchable and trapped by the five senses, when we move into the fourth, there's more clarity. We're in the fourth actually now. And then we're moving into the fifth, which is about energy and light, which is why a lot of us are having pain in our body. We're having a lot of pain in our body because we're healing all this past karma. We're dissolving all these impressions. And let's just move into the meditation. So if you want to sit like this, you can. If you would rather lie down and take a form of relaxation for this meditation, then the bolster will go under the knees. The blanket can go under the head like a pillow, or it can be grounding for you, wrapping over the belly, head, top of the thighs. So I'll let you discover which position you would rather be in. I'm going to change out the music to this meditation. And we are going a little over. our time, so hopefully no one will pop in. But if they do, I'll continue to hold the space. So we're going to take our hands. If you're sitting, your hands are going to be resting on your upper thighs. If you're lying down, maybe hands more at the hip points. And at first, I just want you to feel and connect to your body and the surface underneath you. Then bring in a beam of red light from the feet all the way through the legs to the pelvic floor. Visualize that beam of red light being bright and working like a laser to remove any karmic or past conditioning that relates to our ancestors, our families, and our roots. Visualize this red laser light cleaning out the base of your body. Healing those wounds that regard our safety and sense of security, as well as our survival. Until the red light turns to a bright white light, representing purity. And allow the hands to slide to the lower portion of your abdomen, below your navel. Within this energy center, visualize an orange ray of light. This orange ray of light working its healing powers, using the light as a laser to cut away anything that makes us feel guilty or ashamed. Anything that is blocking us from accepting us as we are. Anything that prohibits us from embracing change and flowing with what life brings. Let this laser light heal our relationship to money, and any type of energy exchange. Allow the orange light to eventually turn into a bright white light, representing purity. Bring the hands now to the upper part of the abdomen, the third center. Visioning the yellow ray of light. This ray of light that can help to dissolve the ego. That can laser away anything that causes us to feel disempowered. Allowing this yellow laser to cut away any emotional debris. So that it can turn into a beautiful, bright, white light representing purity. Helping us to be strong and empowered. Resilient. Through this transformative time. And taking your hands up to your chest, your heart center. Visualizing a green ray of light. Allowing this light to cut like a razor anything that you've held a grievance towards, a person, place, or situation. Let this green ray of light burn away any envy, any betrayal, so that as the white light pours in, representing purity, you're abundant with love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness for yourself and others. And bring your hands up to the sides of your throat or neck. And if that feels a little suffocating, you can just hover around it. Imagine blue light or aquamarine light. Let this ray of light take away any lack of self-expression. Take away the notion that you have no voice or cannot be heard. So that as the bright white light moves in, purifying this area, you're able to speak up and speak out and live your truth. And allowing others to freely express their truth. That is needed for unity consciousness. We all should have this freedom of expression. We are all unique expressions of the divine. And bringing your hands to your brow. And you can even have one hand on your brow and one hand cupped up underneath the base of the skull, for the north and the south pole of the third eye. Here, I like to visualize an indigo blue ray of light. You can shine it from the base to the front or from the front to the back. You can even envision the pineal gland in the middle of that beam like a clear quartz crystal. Allowing this blue ray of light to burn away any falsehoods, any misconceptions, any misperceptions and misunderstandings. So that as it cleans out and turns into a beautiful, bright, white light, representing that state of purity, we're open to your intuition and receiving loads of insights. And then at last, to the top of the head, to the crown. It's a place where we usually envision purple. Visualize this purple ray of light coming in to burn away the things that make us feel separate or alone or disconnected or ignorant. Allow the white beam of light to come in to bring the purity, to invite the innate wisdom to awaken. And this awakening to oneness and unity consciousness. Feel free to release the arms down. We envision this rainbow color of the chakra channel. But as we ascend and as we evolve into light bodies, it will turn into pure light. And the pains of our body will begin to disintegrate. The mind and hearts will expand. It is a process, so stay with the process. Trust in the process. And let's take 3 deep breaths. If you're reclined on your back, move the blanket off in front of the body so that you can hug your knees in. And hugging the knees in, you can roll to one side. Rolling to one side, you can build yourself up to sit. Join your hands together in prayer. The light and the love within me honors and respectfully bows to the love and light in each of you. I love it.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks.
Bye.